Oh, hi. It's Thursday again. I'm back. I'm getting so consistent. I really hope these videos are helping y'all. I do feel like it's easier for me to blab and talk about stuff than sometimes to write. I do like to write my Substack, but I also love to blab. It's one of my really great talents. In college, my best friend, I would leave her very long rambling messages, and she used to save them and laugh at them. That was my friend. So this is kind of like that version, but spiritual. Okay, so I was going to talk today, a new topic about what it was like to feel that heavenly space and to feel all that love from the divine, what I would say God's love. But I work with a lot of people who are traumatized by religion. So I don't always use the word God because, okay, I wrote that in my journal, but sometimes I know the word God can be triggering. But divine love, the love of the divine, God, peace, love, all of that. I'm going to tell you what it felt like. Instead of like, because usually when I tell my story or I go on these podcast interviews or YouTube interviews, I'm like, these are all the fantastical spiritual things that happened. I was seeing things, I was dreaming things, I was seeing these timelines, and it sounds like really wow. But the biggest part of my experience was feeling the love of God. And that was what really was transformative for me and for my life, besides making me lose all of my skepticism eventually. So the biggest part, which started when that light came in my room, but was the whole time really, was feeling totally seen and loved, like seen completely. That happened from the very beginning and just happened deeper and deeper. Like I had felt very broken after my trauma and in general in my life, and not like a good person. I felt like I was an awful person, but then here was this like love from God coming in and just loving me as I was. That was really profound. That's what really changes a life, was that like just knowing and feeling deeply in my heart how loved I was. And I hope me talking about it can help you feel it, or that you're able to feel that for yourself in your own way, because there's really no other thing that can do that that I've found in all of my healing. So feeling completely seen, loved, held, amazing. I also saw all the beauty in other people. So like I talk about the light coming out of everyone. I just saw all the beauty that everyone had, and it was like profound. But maybe that's because I was also learning about my own beauty in my heart. And so when I saw that beauty in other people, I was just like, I joked on a podcast that hasn't come out yet. They're like, how did your spiritual experiences change your life? And I was like, well, I lost all my game. Like, I used to be kind of not a player, a little bit of a heartbreaker. I was very wounded. But like, I wouldn't say I was a player. I just like didn't know how to open my heart to anybody. But as soon as I saw the light and like all that love, I was like, everyone's so beautiful. I don't even know how to go on a date. Like, I'm just like, wow, you're amazing. Like, every time to my friends who were girls and the guys I would go on dates with, I was just like, I didn't really know how to process all the beauty I was seeing in people and still be like a normal person. Anyway, it was interesting. I've eventually like kind of gotten it together. Anyway, yes, that was another thing. I also couldn't be around suffering. I did write this in a Substack kind of recently, like the different ways it affected my heart, but that was one of the big ones. Like if I saw a kid, I work with kids in schools and all over people, like I couldn't see someone suffering and not try to help them. Like it, not just like, oh, I should go help that person because it's the right thing to do. It was like a sword in my heart. Like, oh my gosh, this person is crying. I need to go help them right now. I remember like the first, this was after my spiritually transformative experience ended. And I was in a room with a bunch of teachers and kids. And I think we were doing some kind of testing, and a girl started crying who was like 6 or 7. And like no one else really noticed it, but I could just feel her despair and her pain. And I was like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with this child? I need to go help her right now. Or like, what's happening? Like, it wasn't even like a mental space. It's just like my heart was just so pulled towards that suffering. I lived through that like horrible suffering and nobody noticed. So, but it's not like I'm going to help everyone who's suffering. It's like if I'm around someone who's in despair or distress, I feel like a pull, and I'm impelled to go help them. I can't turn my heart off. I can't turn it off anymore. Not that it was off and then it got opened, I guess. Other things that changed. I also, during that experience, I was like my whole 2 years of my spiritually transformative experience. I was like, oh, like I just kind of realized internally all of the problems in my life are like existing when I don't have my heart plugged into God. Like if I'm not plugged into that divine presence or to God, like of course I'm having problems, but like now I know how to fix all my problems. I just need to like keep my heart tuned into the divine. But then like my experience ended and it was like, it's much harder than that. I don't know how to do that all the time. It takes a lot of like practice and patience for me because the human world is very distracting. And I still try. I don't know if back then it seemed like super simple, no big deal, super easy to like keep my heart really plugged in and like connected and whole. Now it's just like, I feel like I'm always working at it and sometimes not doing it when I feel like maybe I'd rather do something else. And of course, that doesn't ever go well. Things just really flow a lot better when your heart's super plugged into love, like divine love. Okay, how else? Those are all the things I wrote down, but I feel like there's some other ones. So if you sit with me for a minute, I will think of some other ways. Well, I mean, yeah, I thought felt how connected we all are, and it was more just like I had that mini life review experience, but it has always continued. So it's almost like I feel everybody all the time. Sometimes I do have to make sure I keep my own, like I've been told I need to turn up my own volume and turn down the world's volume because sometimes it gets really loud and I can feel what other people are feeling if I'm close friends with them, like far away, or even if they're talking, like it's kind of intense. So I have to sometimes I have had to modulate that. I couldn't lie anymore. That was a big one. I was not like ever a big liar. Like I don't really like to lie, but I couldn't like if I tried to say something just like truly dishonest or like prevaricate or fudge things, it was just like I couldn't do it. I was like it also felt like painful in my throat. And I do a lot of work on healing my throat chakra is like something I have to heal a lot from many different things, but no, I can't lie. I mean, I wasn't ever a good liar anyway. I have a very expressive face, but uh, yeah, that was really intense. Not being like just feeling like, wow, I can't just like pretend anything. It's maybe too honest. I'm not gonna say anything hurtful to someone, but I just kind of yeah, I couldn't yeah, and I just felt super safe, and it was very beautiful. Everybody glowed. I mean, that was the space of the heaven on earth space that I've been talking about. It was, so I had all these internal things, but also the whole world like glowed with all this beauty. And I guess because I was in that space, but it also, yeah, it felt like heaven on earth. Like I could see just everything just was working out. I flowed. I felt so full of light. Doesn't mean everything was perfect because I was also healing a lot. I was healing a lot of like deep stuff that was coming up because I was being like inundated with love and light. So anything that wasn't of that was coming up and getting healed. But I just was like seeing how beautiful things were, and everything really just felt like I could just flow. Like I took a step in front of me and the road appeared because I was so tuned in and just so, I guess I could say vibrating at a certain level or just completely plugged in for that time. So anyway, yeah, it was really, really beautiful. And I'm always trying to get back there. I mean, that's probably why I guess I'm supposed to talk about my experience or share about it, especially in these really kind of turbulent times on our planet. I didn't leave the planet and have all this experience. I didn't go and die, which I know makes my experience a little weird or different, but I was right here living my life with all of this light. And I really wanted to share, like, I keep feeling like I'm supposed to share just because I think we can create that. I think we can create that with each other. You can start with yourself and spread it. And I think we can create something really beautiful on our planet with that. And, you know, I really saw it. I saw the beauty inside people. I want us all to see it. Anyway, those are some of the ways my life changed internally, kind of in a bigger way. Yeah, I'll recap again. But some of that list was in my head, but I felt completely seen, held, and loved. I knew how loved I was. I saw the beauty in other people like in a really deep way. I couldn't be around suffering. I couldn't lie. I felt yeah, I just saw how beautiful the world was and can be. Sorry, I'm trying to stop like doing these like facial things, like things that I do but I always have an itch on my nose. Does that mean you're saying something true? I don't know. Someone's talking about you. I don't know. Anyway, those are all, I hope that's helpful. If you've had like any kind of experience of the divine or God or Christ or whatever, like I'm very, I come from a super interfaith family that I'll do another video on. So I like to keep my space really open for everyone. But if you've had an experience like that, I'd love to hear about it. Have you had like a moment where you knew you were loved or that God really cared about you or that the divine cared about you or the universe? Did you, did it make you click your heart into place? What did it feel like? I want to hear about it. Thank you for being here. I love you guys and I hope you're doing okay. Bye.